Hello, my name is Darwin German, coming to you from Dallas, Texas, and I'm here to give you some tips on raising capital. First and foremost, I've got 30 years experience in the real estate field. Actually more than that, that's just my professional career. I actually grew up in the real estate industry working on small houses and small apartment communities that my dad bought, and he had me up every weekend working on the properties from the time I was about 8 years old. But now I've completed over $500 million in transactions, and I've been a syndicator since 2008. As a syndicator, I've raised over $150 million for our transactions, and we've had great success. And I want to tell you some of the tips that we have learned over time to help you out on your capital raising. Just to give you an idea, here's the most recent transaction we did. We just closed on this $37 million Class A property, newly constructed right here in Carrollton, Texas. This was $37 million, and we had to raise over $10 million for this one property alone. But it's a Class A deal, beautiful. We took over management when we put it under contract at 38%, and by the time we closed, 60 days later, we had it at almost 88% occupied. Now, that's a huge success. You need to have management in-house. You need to take care of your own assets. Nobody looks after your money like you do. The first tip to raising capital is have a team. This is a team sport. Even your lender is part of your team. Think about your lender. They're the biggest partner you have. You also need people that specialize in different parts of the transaction. You need to have an attorney, a CPA, a property management company, preferably your own, because there's so many details that you have to handle. You can't do it alone. It's a team sport. Make sure you have a great team helping you. The next item is build upon your success. Before people will invest with you, they want to see what you have done, whether you have success in other fields, whether you're an engineer, an architect, a contractor, no matter what your field of expertise is, you need to have experience that you can build upon, preferably on doing some smaller real estate deals yourself to prove that up with your own money before you ask for other people's money. Also, they're going to want to see that you're putting skin in the game, so you have to have money invested in those deals as well. Next item that I cannot stress enough, complete transparency. The investors you have that put up money are entrusting you with sometimes their life savings. You need to be completely transparent. You don't hide anything, especially from your lender, but also from all your partners. Think about it this way. All your partners, they have worked hard to save up enough money to invest to put with you. You need to communicate everything that's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In my experience, no matter what happens, we communicate everything because the investors, they've built up their money. They know what they're doing. They've been in business, so they understand you're going to have struggles. You're going to have challenges. And if you communicate that to them, they'll have more trust in you and be able to invest more and see how you're handling problems. Do not stick your head in the sand. Confront every problem head on and communicate those problems and your solutions with your partners. They need to know what you're going through and how they can help. A lot of times they can help. But at least if there's a problem with a property, they know about it ahead of time. Always, always, always communicate with complete transparency. Going along with that transparency is also constant communication. At least monthly financials and a complete reporting of all the financials goes along with transparency. Communication and transparency go hand in hand. You need to go ahead and communicate everything. Tell them what is going on, give them monthly reporting, constantly communicate, and I can't stress it enough, get them on board, and you do that by communicating with them. Continual communication, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's a property we just sold, Villa Creek Apartments. Now, when we bought this, we projected a 17.5% average annual return. However, we beat that dramatically by having almost a 50% per year return. That's building on success. Now, You also have to make sure you put your disclaimers in there that past performance is not any indication of future success, and there is no guarantees, and there are risks in every investment. So you need to understand the laws in how you're going to communicate that. You never, ever, ever guarantee a return. These are investments that they're participating in. They need to know what your projections are, and hopefully if you've been conservative enough, you can go ahead and outperform what you promised. Now, again, almost a 50% per year return. This one was a grand slam. About 25% of our properties are grand slams. About 70% are absolute base hits that hit projections. About 5% underperform. Now, out of about 70 deals, we've only lost money on one deal. And we even communicate that in our transparency. Again, transparency, transparency, transparency. Communicating the one that we lost money on, which was purchased in 2009 during a downhill slide, everybody remembers that period, they learn more from your mistakes than they do your successes. And if you have one deal that failed, just go ahead and say it. Don't hide anything. It's part of the transparency. And that also builds trust, because if you're communicating even the bad ones along with the grand slams like this, they have additional trust in you. Here's some more additional advice. Just because you can do a deal doesn't mean you should. Another way of looking at that, another saying that we have, is sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't do. Now, you've got to make sure that you have success you build upon. There might be a mistake here or there, but always pass if the numbers don't make sense. You need to understand it and pass on deals that don't make sense to you. You cannot do every deal. You don't want to do every deal. There's a lot of money chasing deals. Don't do it just because you can. Have it make sense first. Something we do is we like to educate our partners. So we use our training room here in Dallas, and we record all of our trainings and put them online so you can have access to those as well. But we want educated partners so they know what we're looking at. They know what we're doing. They know how we're doing it. And that again goes back to the transparency and communication, so that we tell them what our strategy is, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and then educate them on how the numbers work and how it all works together and what the plan is. They need to know, so educate them on what you're doing. Here's the whole thing, give the information away. None of this is secret proprietary stuff. Everybody's doing the same thing. It's just whether or not you are good at doing it. And part of that goes back to don't do every deal. Only do the ones that make sense. Here's another piece of advice. Specialize. Have a lot of knowledge in one area. We specialize in apartments. That doesn't mean we don't do other deals once in a while. For example, this office building that we're in, we didn't want to lease space. We're syndicators. We buy real estate. Why would we lease office space? But I have previous experience in office before I went out and raised money. And so we knew what to do on buying the office building, but we specialize in apartments. That way the whole team, management company, everybody knows all the details and can specialize in multifamily. And remember, always put investors first. You need to look out for them. For example, I put up earnest money when we buy properties. My money's at risk. That way the investor's money is not at risk. When you go through and you do a private placement memorandum and your whole subscription agreement and everything else, I'm the one at risk. Now, it also says in there, along with everybody else's, that we can pass that risk on to the partners if the property doesn't close for one reason or another. But that doesn't put investors first. So I put my money at risk before we ask them to put their money at risk. So always think about them and what they do. Now, this is not in my notes, but I want to go ahead and put on this. Always do what you say you're going to do. You're going to communicate it, and make sure you do what you say you're going to do. Perform. You always have to perform, because everybody knows everybody in this industry. So if you do what you say you're going to do, then that gives you great credibility, and people will want to invest more money with you. Brokers will want to do more deals with you. So always follow that advice. Again, my name is Darwin German, And we are here in Dallas, Texas. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, advice, deals, whatever you want, you can reach out to us at invest@darwingerman.com. And again, that's invest@darwingerman.com. And we'd love to help answer any questions or provide you with any educational materials. We provide it free of charge. We have it online. So again, reach out to us at invest@darwingerman.com or go online and register at www.darwingerman.com. And we'd love to hear from you, and thank you so much, and make sure to go out and invest. Always invest in real estate. Have a great day.